Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just kicking it here in the car before I got to go into work. I had a few thoughts that I just wanted to share. Today I was getting ready for work and having some coffee, and I just started thinking about how you can activate your potential. So every day in your life, you have an abundance of potential that is not being operated on in your daily life. So we have our goals and our plans, but oftentimes we're not doing much to achieve them. And here's the thing, in society right now, there is a certain level of dulling and muting our potential of what we can truly be. This is happening as a result of, I want to say, overindulging in social media, the internet, things like this that take us away from realizing our real potential because we're watching other people achieve their potential, and we can kind of relate because maybe they're doing the same things we want to do, and it's almost like we're vicariously living in other people's lives instead of our own. So the things we have to do in order to activate our potential are, there's very many things that you can do every day, of course. One thing I think that we have to have first is a certain clarity. A clarity of what's going on in the world today and how it actually relates or doesn't really relate to what it is that we're trying to achieve. There's this tremendous amount of noise, and it's coming from all directions, and it's vying for our attention span, and this is taking us away from focusing on ourselves. Think of it this way. If you wanted to get some water to purify for drinking, the water might have a lot of sediment and a lot of muddy dirt and stuff in the water, twigs and whatnot, and you can't just drink it like that. You have to filter it. So what we have to do in order to gain clarity is we have to filter out the muddy water that is in our thoughts, because we're taking in all this tremendous amount of information, and a lot of it is just dirt, and it's not really contributing to us fulfilling our potential and activating our potential to its highest degree possible. So gain clarity over not only who you are, but what you want out of life. After we've gained some clarity, we also need to look at how we're living our lives. And we have to organize ourselves, organize our lives, so that we cut out all the excess that isn't really creating extra dimensions of achievement. This could be toxic people, situations, relationships, certain mindsets that you have. So what happens is we've been conditioned and sort of programmed to not see ourselves as having value. It's like the consumer economy and the job market. It's like, if you look at a lot of jobs out there, they're just draining us and sucking us dry and calling it a need for performance, but they're not really paying for our performance. They're just taking all of our energy so that we are constantly in a state of exhaustion. And this is going to have detrimental effects on you activating your potential to gain what it is that you want to achieve out of life. So once we've reorganized our lives, we also need to do one of the most important aspects after we've changed our mindset, and that is to start taking actions, even if they're little actions, little tiny steps towards the direction and on the pathway to what it is we want to accomplish. And if you're not taking action, a lot of times you'll just get stuck. You'll just get stuck in what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to achieve, and what it is that you find to be your purpose. So to act in purpose is to activate your potential in life. So I hope that everybody is doing the best they can in this new year. 1 month has already gone by, and it just seems like blink and 1 month is gone. So before you know it, it's going to be Christmas again. So we have to really make an effort in order to supercharge our identity shift towards what it is that we want to achieve in our lives. And we have to block out all of that negative feedback, and it's coming from all directions. So we actually have to stand on guard so this negative feedback doesn't muddy up the thoughts that are in our brains, in our mind, in our mindset, confusing us and keeping us so tired and exhausted that we don't actually feel the desire to improve ourselves. I have gone through personally a lot of transformation in my life. It's not always been easy. I mean, I can remember going way back to like grade school, preschool even, right? And just thinking about who I was back then and what I was thinking about and what I thought adulthood would be like. And I see a lot of young people these days, they have a very, very poor work ethic. They're more concerned about taking breaks than actually putting the time in to get things done. And I don't know how it is that they are this way. I think a lot of it has to do with education, and I think a lot of it has to do with the way they have been educated in not only their schools but also in their personal lives with their family and their upbringing. And so the way I see it is, if you want to get out of the rut that you're stuck in, you need to activate your potential and change the belief system that has conditioned you to believe that you're not worthy or you don't have what it takes. There's an abundance of opportunities out there in life, and nothing is stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you is this faulty belief system that has muddied your way of thinking. So activate your potential, get busy, take some action, and you'll be surprised at the changes that you can achieve in as little as 3 to 6 months. I always say, Make it happen. You can do it. I believe in you. Out there, I believe in you. I know you can do it. Just get out there and be the best that you can be in life. Talk to you later.